Me and Nia got in this fucking monster debate last night. She taped this show. She goes, hey, I taped this show. It's about rappers in Paris. You ought to check this out. So I was like, all right, I'm going to watch this shit, right? So immediately, they're showing these guys, and they're rapping in French. I don't know what they're saying. So, I'm trying to read the words. I'm a dope. It's going by too fast. But it sounds a lot like, it's the same sort of point of view as a lot of rappers over here, which I am in the minority group. I'm getting treated like shit. I'm living in the shittiest part of the fucking city. A lot of that stuff, right? But it's flying by because I can't read fast enough. So they got this fucking nerdy white kid goes to interview this dude who's Muslim, and he's living in some part in Paris, right? And he's talking about all of this stuff that's happening to him now, right? And the first thing he talked about, he said that he was talking about how he said, thank God that he found, rap, and he did that because, he could have gone the other way. He said, I could have become a bomb. That's what he said. So the white dude goes like, oh, you mean like, you would have blown some people up or something like that? And then the dude's basically like, I knew you were going to take it that way. That's not how I meant it. That's really offensive. And and he's speaking through an interpreter. Tell him if he's going to come down here and talk to people, he needs to check the way he's talking to people, blah, blah. And I'm just sitting there going like, you totally set him up for that. That was like fucking entrapment. What do you think he's going to think? So Nia goes, well, he's not doing that. So, he gets judged because of those actions of the few. And it's just like, I understand that. I totally understand that. But at some point, you have to address the fucking elephant in the room, don't you? Like when I travel outside of this country and people treat me like shit because I'm an American, I don't act like that just fell out of the sky. I know where that's coming from. The imperialistic way that we've colonized the entire fucking world, the amount of time we've sided with dictators because they're giving us fucking oil as they're oppressing their own people. The amount of times we've been on the wrong fucking side of shit. It's like I don't walk around like, well, I didn't do it. Why? It's like, as much as it's still wrong to judge me, I understand that when I walk out of the house, I'm no longer me anymore. It's teams. It's like Red Sox and Yankees, okay? And you're fucking the team hat you're wearing is your skin, okay? And people are going to judge you for that, Back when I had hair and I came walking down the street looking like fucking Richie Cunningham, I knew that people were looking at me like that. Like fucking hey, I can take this kid's lunch money. Look at his fucking hair. Doesn't make it right. Absolutely does not make it right. But to sit there and act like you don't know where shit is coming from, that's what drives me nuts. And it's like, I completely understand that on my side to have empathy for that guy. But what was pissing me off was there was no empathy coming from the other side. Being like, listen, I understand, because there was no understanding of that rapper, that this guy is totally on the outside looking in. So he's going to come from this fear-based fucking thing that he's, from the shit that he sees in the media. And the media is basically, you get judged, all groups of people, you get judged by the Jerry Springer fucking group of your people. That's basically it. So with white people, we're either living in a trailer fucking our sister, or we're these lizard people, shapeshifters that live under a fucking mountain. Illuminati is essentially it, right? There's a zillion of them. We're in a fucking hate group. We're in the fucking Klan. We got a 4-wheeler. We're shooting a gun or whatever, right? And you got all those fucking stereotypes, which obviously is not a fair fucking thing. And I also understand that despite those stereotypes, the Matrix is made for white people. So despite those, it really doesn't affect my life. And I get all of that type of shit. But I mean, I don't know. I just needed that guy in the moment to just be like, you know what? I understand why you said that. Rather than just immediately go into lecture mode, because then when you're sitting at home, I don't know if you're like me, I just plug myself in. Well, who would I be in that scenario? Oh, I'd be that guy getting a lecture. So I just started saying all the shit I would have said back to him, and it drove my fucking wife up the wall. She's like, why can't you just watch things? It's like, what do you mean? Why can't I? The TV's interactive to me. The same shit I do when I watch Wheel of Fortune and I make fun of every contestant and you're sitting there laughing your ass off and I turn it into this, like a comedy show. You then get mad at me when I do the same fucking thing when I'm watching this other shit. And so we just made a truce. It's like, I don't want to watch any shit with you that has to do with this stuff because we're going to end up in a fucking argument. Because I'm going to act like I'm watching Wheel of Fortune. Anyways, why is this thing bing, bang, and booming and all that type of shit? Having said all that, I completely understood where that guy was coming from. It's like, yeah, I didn't do any of that shit. I'm trying to get the fuck out of here. I've lived in this country my whole life, and I never felt like it was mine. Okay? Which is... and this is the arrogant thing that I'm going to do, not even living over there. I'm going to chastise white people because we do it here. You can't do that to people. You can't have people living in the country their whole fucking lives, and they are American, they are French and all that. You cannot treat them like, yeah, but you're not real American. It's like, well, fucking neither are you then. You're European or whatever the fuck you're from. So I don't know. I'm not a fucking, I like to think I'm not a fucking bad guy. I get all of that type of shit. But Jesus Christ, at some point, like I used to do a joke right after 9/11 and they started racially profiling Arabs and all that, which was completely fucked up and I understood it. But I never heard it. Like, I just always looked at it like, all right, if 20 redheads knock down some skyscrapers, I'd expect to be getting some looks the next day at the airport. Doesn't make it right, but I wouldn't be sitting there going, I don't understand where fucking... I completely understand where this is coming from, and I don't like it, because I'm an innocent guy. But I would have the empathy to at least address where the fear is coming from. And I think that if you just fucking do that, the other side can relax and maybe listen to your point, Because that's what happened to me when I watched that. And I watched that kid all of a sudden get a lecture after that guy said I could have become a bomb. And I just felt he set the fucking kid up. And then I immediately went into defense mode defending that kid. And I didn't even at that point sit and listen to what this guy had to say. So then I didn't learn anything. I would equate that to when people try to make a point. Like when people were trying to teach me who and whom. So much of it started with, hey, fuckhead. Maybe you should try, but how do I get past, hey, fuckhead? I don't know. I like to think that there was a decent point made in there. I'm sure I'll get a bunch of shit for that. But either way, it was an interesting debate.